And yeah, so you were shuttling back and forth between US and India and learning. And then, as you mentioned a few minutes ago, there was a key turning point for you, and that's when you got to perform and tour with the legendary sitar player Pandit Ravi Shankar. And an opportunity of this magnitude definitely doesn't pop out of nowhere. So could you talk us through like how this came about?
Sure. When I was about 15 or 14, I was going to India regularly, but one year my parents just took me for 6-7 months. I stayed. I missed like a whole chunk of school, and that was what was so great. My parents really gave an importance to studying this art form, and it was just as important or more important than my education. So I came back. I'd been performing. I'd gotten a huge learning experience being in India for 8 months straight, 6 to 8 months, I think. And I think I started kind of establishing myself as like a concert singer at that age. For that age, I was doing well. And I came back to California, and Ravi G lives in San Diego, which is not too far from Los Angeles. So he heard about his wife Sukanya auntie heard about the family's known our family because the artistic community is quite closely knit. So they heard about me, and he's always looking for young talent, and so he was curious to hear me. There wasn't YouTube or Facebook at that point, so there was no clips of me online. So he asked me to come over to his house and prepare 30 minutes of music. He just wanted to hear me and come with a full set, violin, mridangam. And so I came, and I was very nervous, obviously. And when I came, it wasn't just him. It was like, and there's an audience in his house, like a small audience, but nonetheless, I was really not expecting that. So it definitely put me off guard, caught me off guard. But right away, he eased my anxiety by being so like jovial, and he would show his appreciation, and he would talk in between the songs, so it didn't feel like a concert or anything. He would talk to me, ask me questions, and tell me some of his favorite Carnatic ragas. And then after the half an hour was up, he kept requesting more songs and more ragas, and talking about his favorite Carnatic musicians, and it went to about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours of like a full-on concert, and it was a really amazing experience that I'll always remember. And then shortly after that, life was normal. I was back at school, and I came back home, and my dad told me that Ravi G called while I was at school, and he was in Russia, and he asked if I'd be interested to tour with him on his Festival in India 3 tour for about 3 months. And yeah, that was the most critical part of my senior year in high school, when I'm applying for colleges, I'm taking SAT exams, and it's a very important time. But obviously this was too huge an opportunity to pass, and even my school understood. They let me kind of do my own schooling, my own self-tutoring, as long as I came back and I was able to take like a test to make sure I was on par with the rest of my peers. And so yeah, that's kind of how that connection started.
And all this sort of experience and the confidence that touring with him gave you allowed you to show your sort of singing self at school as well. And I read that you ended up getting a lead role in your school's musical that year as well. And I'm sort of curious though, wasn't it the very fact that you were into a different form of music that prevented you from showing your musical self at school? So how did delving deeper into Carnatic music give you the confidence to be in a musical and not have the fear of, an accidental briga or something coming out?
I mean, I was always scared of that. It was just a change in mindset, to be honest. It was just, and also having the validation of someone like Ravi G was just a huge boost. Like that went a long way. To have the confidence and the belief in a master like him. I was a young kid. Like, there's no reason he needs to give me so much. Like, I was 15, 16. Yeah, I'm just grateful for like the advice he gave me, for the confidence he instilled in me, and he kind of he said you need to take this up. You have a special talent, and you need to nurture this. You have to get very serious about it, and that itself gave me the confidence. Like, I didn't need to hide. I didn't need to. It was okay to be different at that point. I was on, like, touring with one of the greatest legends of Indian music. Like, what am I shy about at this point, you know?